watching Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
The opinions expressed in the following program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Rogers nor Rogers TV.
Dear friends, mes amis, I am Corneliu Cizu, a former member of parliament, a professional and military engineer from the Canadian Forces, a veteran from Afghanistan. I am seeking election as the People's Party candidate for Pickering-Uxbridge because I am concerned that Canada is going in the wrong direction. I live in the riding, and we need a respectful, fair, free dialogue and nation-building policies offered only by the People's Party of Canada under the responsible leadership of Honorable Maxime Bernier. Pickering-Uxbridge is a wonderful place to live, but we need more jobs, especially for youth. We need to develop the Pickering federal lands and have an airport after more than 45 years of neglect. Establish a manufacturing and research center for small modular nuclear reactors in order to exploit Canadian natural resources in remote locations with minimum greenhouse effects. Recycle spent nuclear fuel and re-engineer the Pickering nuclear plant and not close it. Create more senior-friendly housing, improve the waterfront, parks and green zones, and take better care of our own community. I am honored to represent the People's Party of Canada in this riding, and thank you very much for watching this video. Let freedom, fairness, responsibility, and respect rule again. I am here ready to serve, and please vote for me. Vote Corneliu Cizu, PPC.
My name is Peter Fornt, and I'm your Green Party candidate. I grew up in the GTA and have called Pickering home since getting married. Our riding offers us a great mix of urban and rural lifestyle options, and it's where we've raised our two boys who are now in high school. I spent most of my career in the business sector, from being an employee at a big company like IBM to the general manager of a 3-person startup, to being self-employed, working with local entrepreneurs to grow their businesses. During the financial crisis, I returned to school for a certificate in green business management and never would have guessed I'd be teaching full-time at Seneca College. I love my job, especially the side conversations I have with students in which they ask me, why is tuition more than 3 times that of their parents? Is it fair that they need to go so far into debt just to get an entry-level job? And how will they pay that debt back, let alone buy a home and start their own families? While I love my job, I can't solve these issues in the classroom. To help these young people, seniors, and those in between, you need to send me to Ottawa as your MP. As a business person, I chose the Green Party because only the Greens understand that every community across the country needs local renewable energy, local building retrofits, and local environmental rehabilitation. Small businesses are positioned to meet these needs the best, and they create meaningful work that can't be outsourced overseas. And such a prosperous, sustainable economy is the only way to afford modernizing our social safety nets with pharmacare and other programs. If you believe, as I do, that the old line parties are getting us nowhere fast, then vote for optimism for the people and action plans you want, not with pessimism against those you fear the most. Vote Green. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Eileen Higdon. I want to be your MP. I stand before you today because since coming to Canada 46 years ago, I have trusted the federal government to take care of my interests. Look at where we are today. Time and time again, they have constantly broken that trust. I cannot offer my grandchildren the same quality of life that we have had. The death of the fishery on the east and west coasts, climate change, the Airbus scandal, the sponsorship scandal, the Senate scandal. Justin Trudeau, he said he would do government differently. I see no difference. 40% of Canada is in the Arctic Circle. We are melting. I am wondering, why are school children striking on Fridays? To me, it appears to be a reversal of the parent-child roles. I believe we need not be fearful about facing the reality of the gravity of the situation. When we work together, we can offer all Canadians a more hope-filled future. As your MP, I will vigorously pursue the fight to lower carbon emissions by taxing the highest polluters and changing our vision. The NDP government will start building 500,000 housing units right away. Childcare will see a $1 billion investment in 2020. The National Pharmacare Project and the end to the Pickering Airport. A vote for Eileen Higdon is a vote to improve the opportunity to give our children and the future they deserve. On October 21st, elect Eileen Higdon.
My name is Saima Musarat. I am running as a Conservative candidate for the great riding of Pickering-Uxbridge. As a mother of 2 young boys, I understand the issues that Canadian families are facing. The last 4 years have shown that Justin Trudeau is simply not as advertised. Trudeau said he would help the middle class. Instead, he raised taxes on 80% of middle-class Canadians and brought in a carbon tax that makes everyday essentials more expensive. It's hard enough to get ahead without the government making it more difficult. If you work hard, you should be able to buy a home, save for retirement, and care for your children and your parents as they age. A new Conservative government will take the GST off home heating bills, make maternity benefits tax-free, introduce a transit tax credit for commuters, and provide a universal tax cut for all hardworking taxpayers. A new Conservative government will live within its means and put more money in your pocket so you can get ahead. I'm running to champion the residents of Pickering-Uxbridge so they can get ahead, not just get by. Vote for Saima Musarat on October 21st.
I'm Jennifer O'Connell, and I'm running for re-election as the Liberal Party candidate in Pickering-Uxbridge. Pickering is where I've had the privilege of growing up and where I am proud to live today. I've served my community for nearly 14 years as a city and regional councillor, deputy mayor, and most recently served as the Member of Parliament for Pickering-Uxbridge and the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Finance. Throughout my time in office, I've had the privilege of working on the issues that matter to our community. The sidewalks I walked on to get to school were the same ones I pushed to improve on council. Our natural environment in the parks I enjoyed playing in as a child are the same ones I'm now fighting every day to protect. I've always believed politics can be a force for good. As your Member of Parliament, I've worked to bring well over $200 million in investments directly into our community. If you are a student in need of employment during your summer break, these investments mean thousands of stable jobs right here in our community. And if you're a parent, you're getting more money for groceries or school supplies because of our more generous tax-free Canada Child Benefit. Over the past 4 years, we've made tremendous progress. Over 1 million jobs created, 300,000 children lifted out of poverty, and an ambitious plan to fight climate change. But there is more work to be done. If re-elected, we'll make life more affordable by cutting middle-class taxes again and decreasing cell phone bills by 25%. For the typical Canadian family, that's $1,500 more in your pocket. We'll also continue working hard to protect our environment by no longer making it free to pollute and putting us on a path to reach net zero emissions by 2050. They are just some of the issues I am fighting for and what is at stake during this election. But there is more work to be done, and I am excited at the chance to continue fighting for you.
My name is Intab Ali. I'm an immigrant from Trinidad and Tobago. I am passionate about this country. I care deeply for the Canadian people. It's time for a change. The Canadian people deserve better. My core values are what every politician should have: ethics, trustworthiness, nobility, integrity, and conscientiousness. It's these core values that I believe in, and it's these values that will allow me to be a strong leader for the people of Ajax. My agenda will be to help the Canadian people. Our Canadian citizens will take precedence over foreign immigration and refugees, starting with our Canadian veterans and senior citizens. I will increase benefits for our veterans. I will increase all federal programs for our seniors, citizens, including old age security and the guaranteed income supplement. I will focus my attention and priority on Indigenous people in Canada. I will have openness and transparency. I will personally make sure that every voice in Ajax will be heard in the House of Commons. I will focus my attention on extended health care and improving our healthcare system. I will make autism and mental illness one of my key issues and priorities. I will vote to abolish the carbon tax. I will increase defense spending wisely. On October 21st, vote Ali. It's your choice, your future. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I'm Tom Dingwall, your Conservative candidate for Ajax. My father worked at General Motors for 36 years, and my mother was a small business owner. I've been married to Arlene for 22 years, and she supports me in all that I do. We have raised our 2 boys, and we are so proud of the young men that they've become. I've spent many years patrolling, keeping our streets and our families safe. As a former sexual assault and child abuse investigator and a former homicide detective, I know how to find the truth. I've worked firsthand with people suffering in mental health crisis, opioid addiction, domestic violence, elder abuse, and homelessness. So when policies are written that affect these vulnerable people, wouldn't it be nice to have somebody at the table who understands the real-life impact of these decisions? You know, politics is not about making promises. It's about keeping promises. The Liberals have had a majority government for 4 years, and the promises that they broke by choice. Let's really think about that for a second. The Liberals promised pharmacare in 2015. They promised electoral reform. They promised to be transparent and ethical. And they promised to be respectful of our seniors, our veterans, Indigenous peoples, and women. And they did not keep their promise. They broke these promises by choice. My family and all Canadians deserve a future where we are not burdened by wasteful spending, broken promises, and the lack of ethics shown by the Trudeau Liberals. I've been standing up for people my entire life, and I'm ready to stand up for you, for Ajax, and for all of Canada. On October 21st, vote for ethics, integrity, and transparency. Vote for Tom Dingwall.
Hi there. My name is Alan Hadley, and I'm an independent candidate for the Ajax riding in our upcoming federal election. I am pleased to be part of the Rogers TV candidate series, as it allows the viewer first-hand access to the candidates themselves, plus their platforms and ideas, as we head to the polls on October 21st. Many important issues are facing Canadians today. Frontline issues in the Durham region include the potential closure of the GM plant in Oshawa. We have also heard about the Chrysler plant in Windsor that has had to eliminate a shift due to restructuring. These are just 2 recent examples of manufacturing that is leaving Canada, all the while considering the environment and natural resource sectors as well. We need to start investing in ourselves, because if we don't, future employment opportunities that directly affect the middle class will end up leaving the country, which also has effect on housing. If this example continues, what will Canada's future look like as we get further and further into the 21st century? I am a firm believer that we have the resources, brain power, and the ability to produce any number of global brands and products, including, but not limited to, the auto sector, aerospace, and smartphone industries. Based on the infrastructure that is needed to produce these 21st century worldwide products, Canada is a veritable superpower, because we have the expertise and the people right in our backyard. We're building a better Canada for the future. Let's go get 'em. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mark Hollinger, Liberal candidate for Ajax. Over the last 22 years, it's been my privilege to serve our community, whether or not as a councillor or since 2004 as your Member of Parliament. Together, we've been able to make great things happen. But over the last 4 years, I'm particularly proud. Remember where we were 4 years ago, when Canada was at the bottom of the G7 across almost every single economic indicator, where we had the worst 10 years of growth that we'd had since R.B. Bennett in the Great Depression. Today, Canada's in a completely different place. We're leading the G7 in economic growth. We've seen more than 1.1 million new jobs created. We have the lowest unemployment rate that we've had since the 1960s. Together, we've also seen 820,000 people be lifted out of poverty. That includes 300,000 children. We've made essential investments in infrastructure, in making sure that the middle class get ahead by providing tax cuts. And most essentially, we put a price on pollution, with a commitment to make sure that we do our part on climate change. There's no greater crisis facing the planet. And with our commitment to make sure that we're going to end the greenhouse gas emissions by becoming carbon neutral in the year 2050, you can count on a Liberal government to do what's right on climate. As your Member of Parliament, I put my whole heart into the job. I fought my whole life for our community, and I'm not finished yet. On October 21st, I hope I can count on your support so that I can continue to fight for you.
Over the past 2 decades, I have been helping communities in different capacities as an advocate, a journalist, and a real estate professional. And above all, I'm a family man living in Ajax, confronted with the same issues and concerns as all of you. I'm proud to present the NDP platform for pharmacare and dental care for all Canadians, whether you have insurance or not. We will make sure that Canadians are not forced to choose between the health and paying their rent. NDP has a concrete plan to boost our economy and fight climate change, creating 300,000 new jobs. Unlike Liberals and Conservatives, we are not in it for the huge corporations or 1% elite. Rather, we are in it for you. We will implement a tax on wealth exceeding $20 million and lowering taxes for all working Canadian families. It's time to vote for a party whose policies work for all of us. It's time to vote for a party that delivers on its promises. It's time to vote NDP. On October 21st, do your part as a Canadian for the bright and better future of Ajax. Vote for someone who is in it for you. Vote Shaukat Malik as your MP.
I am Susanna Russo and am honored to represent Ajax, Ontario as the People's Party of Canada candidate in the upcoming elections in October. I love this country and am grateful to Canada as an immigrant myself for the infinite opportunities this country has given me. I am not a career politician. I am a small business owner and a farmer producing maple syrup and honey. I understand the struggles students, families, and indeed all Canadians are experiencing in this economic climate. The People's Party of Canada is committed to creating an environment where jobs are created for all Canadians. We have real, workable policies in place designed to put Canadians first, lower taxes, rescinding the carbon tax, eliminating capital gains tax, and putting our Canadian tax dollars to work in Canada for Canadians. I am committed as your Member of Parliament for Ajax to ensuring that your hard work pays off and you will be able to keep more of your own money in your pocket. The beautiful town of Ajax is a vibrant, diverse, and unique part of the Durham region. I pledge to ensure Ajax remains such. I stand for our shared Canadian values, traditions, culture, and most importantly, our freedoms. So I'm asking you to allow me to help you, all of you, to ensure the continuance of our democracy and freedoms which make this country great. The People's Party of Canada is putting Canada and Canadians first.
question this election is, why do the Liberals and Conservatives keep working for the wealthy and powerful and breaking their commitments to the rest of us? Justin Trudeau charmed Canadians last election with pretty words and empty promises, but he's been working for his corporate friends, just like Stephen Harper did. Trudeau has let big polluters off the hook. He's let the cell phone and credit card companies rip us off. He's let the big drug corporations deny us affordable prescription drugs. He's kept big tax breaks and giant loopholes for corporations evading taxes. And he's even continued the conservative cuts to health care, one of the Liberal Party's dirty little secrets. The Conservatives always make sure their corporate friends benefit more. Andrew Scheer will promise you a few dollars, but he'll cut services and cost you more. Conservatives consistently make deep cuts to health care, education, and other services. When they cut, regular people pay the price in time, money, and more burden on their families. Elizabeth May talks about one thing, and frankly, it's not enough. Now imagine a government that actually works for us, instead of protecting the interests of the wealthy and powerful. That's what our New Deal for People is all about. The NDP will take on the big polluters, drug companies, and corporate tax giveaways that have cost hard-working Canadians far too much for far too long. We're going to invest in the services that people need, make life more affordable, and take the climate crisis seriously with a plan that cuts emissions, invests in clean technology and infrastructure, and creates over 300,000 good green energy jobs while doing it. My name is Brian Thomas Dias. I'm your NDP candidate for Whitby, and I'm running to be your Member of Parliament. Let's take better care of each other.
Hi, I'm Todd McCarthy, your Conservative Party candidate here in Whitby. For the past 4 years under the Trudeau government, life has become more unaffordable. We believe in the Conservative Party that it's time for you and your family to get ahead. That's why we have a plan to reduce your taxes and to make life more affordable. We believe that a government of Canada should reflect the priorities of Canadians. Under the Trudeau government, we've seen mismanagement, waste, hypocrisy, corruption, and priorities that are not the priorities of Canadians. Please vote Conservative on October 21st. I'm Todd McCarthy in Whitby. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Mirko Pejic and I'm People's Party of Canada candidate for Whitby riding. People Party of Canada, also known as PPC, is the fastest growing political party in Canadian history. We also are the newest political party. The People's Party of Canada was founded on 4 principles: respect, fairness, personal responsibility, and freedom. You may not have heard about People's Party of Canada, and you may wonder why. This is because of media bias. People's Party is the only party that rejects political correctness, and it makes media uncomfortable. We are not afraid to discuss any topics openly and truthfully. This is what separates us from the other parties. We still tell the truth when other parties have given up a long time ago. The People's Party wants to make things better for all Canadians. We don't make any promises to any interest groups to gain their votes. We treat everybody the same with respect and fairness. We want Canada to be strong and free for everybody. We will implement personal and businesses tax cuts. This includes drastic cuts for the middle class, reducing tax to 15% for personal income between 15 and 100,000. Cut corporate taxes from 15 to 10%. We want to run this country based on common sense and fairness for all. Our goal is to unify Canadians. If you hear something today that triggers your interest or resonates within you, I encourage you to go to People's Party of Canada website and compare our policies to other parties and see that we are the only ones that offer common sense revolution. Together, we will fight for better and stronger Canada. We will take Ottawa back and make it work for people once again. Thank you.
I am Dr. Paul Slavchenko from the Green Party. After 30 years of making Canadians healthier, one patient at a time, I've taken on the task of making all of Whitby healthier. I believe that the best way to do this is by bringing the Green Party's message of responsible financial, social, and environmental policy to Parliament. Our children are taking to the streets to tell adults what they need. We must listen to them. They need adults to take meaningful action on climate change, meaningful action so that the damage from global warming is minimized. Business as usual means increasing climate instability and more frequent extreme weather events. It means spiraling insurance costs and rising government expenditures to compensate for climate disasters. Good leadership is like being a good hockey player. You don't look at where the puck is, you look at where it is going to be. The world is going to be a low-carbon world. We can lead the world in the creation of the technologies that will be required for this, or we can buy those technologies from the country that does. In addition to the world of green technology, there will be a great deal of work for the trades. Buildings must be retrofitted for efficiency and renewable energy installations constructed. A countrywide electricity grid must be built. Public transit must be expanded. Workers in the fossil fuel industry can be retrained to do this, and our youth will find employment locally to carry out these upgrades. Canada is the only advanced country with universal Medicare that does not include a national drug plan. Our pharmacare plan will drive down the price of drugs and ensure that illness is treated when diagnosed, no matter whether you are rich or poor. Our children are calling on us to make the right choice. The choice that we make in this election will affect them for all of their lives. It is our vote, it is their future. On October 21st, please vote Green. Thank you for your attention.
Hi everyone, I'm Ryan Turnbull. I'm your Liberal candidate for the upcoming federal election. As a father and social entrepreneur, I've been passionately pursuing and engaged in addressing the key problems of our society for many, many years. In 2008, I chose a purpose-driven career and opened a social innovation consulting company. I've worked on over 350 projects to date, cutting across many, many issues in our society. We've given advice to government at every level on policy development, and we've worked on a whole range of issues, including affordable housing, seniors' home care, and health care. We've worked on building stronger, sustainable local economies and protecting our environment, and so much more. It's my pleasure to join the Liberal Party because what I've seen since 2015 that our Liberal government has made these issues a real priority. They've listened to people, they've created plans and strategies, made strategic investments, and what I see is we're making real progress on the issues that matter. We have a climate change action plan for the first time. We have a national housing strategy for the first time. We have a breaking barriers plan for achieving gender equality. These issues are too important to waste time and not moving forward. We can't go back to the 10 years of inaction that we saw with Stephen Harper, or the many deep cuts that our provincial Conservative government has made here in Ontario, cutting essential services that families rely upon. This federal election is a key opportunity for you to make a difference. I need you to choose forward. These problems will not go away. I know this matters to you. It's a Liberal government that we need in power. Choose Liberal. Vote for me, Ryan Turnbull.
Hi, I'm Colin Carey, Conservative candidate for Oshawa. You know me. I've been your Member of Parliament since 2004. I remember when I first moved to Oshawa 42 years ago, how impressed I was at what a great community we have. I remember those first years of going to Fiesta Week, and even as a kid, being so impressed at our diversity and the cultural differences we have in this community, and realizing that people from around the world chose Canada and chose specifically Oshawa to settle down, raise their families, and do the best they can for a better future for their kids. But that Canadian dream, that dream that we all held so dear, is now being threatened. I'm door knocking, and I'm talking to seniors who are saying their income is fixed, but the price of everything under this government is going higher and higher and higher. I'm talking to families that have had to pull their kids out of sports programs, young people who no longer have that dream of home ownership. Well, that's why we have a different plan. Instead of a plan of endless tax hikes to pay for endless deficits, we in the Conservative Party are going to start off with a universal tax cut. In other words, an average of $850 more per couple in your pocket. We're going to be restoring the children's fitness and arts tax credits so that parents can again afford to put their kids into after-school programs, and if they have kids with special needs, to add even more to it. And of course, we're going to give seniors a tax cut and protect and look after our veterans, because these are the people that grew our country and made it what it is today. On October 21st, the choice is clear. We have to vote for experience. We have to end the politics of division. We have to end the politics of pitting one province against another province and one people against another people. On October 21st, vote for Colin Carey. Thank you.
Oshawa is growing faster than ever, and it's time for an MP who can catch up. When I moved to Canada 30 years ago, I had to adapt to a new language, to a new way of doing things, and fast. For we and us, it was a culture shock, but a culture shift. And we need a government who is ready to adapt quickly to a world that's shifting how we live. I'm fighting for Oshawa because I know what it's like to struggle to pay bills, put food on the table, and manage unfair rent increases. I have volunteered extensively around the community and have heard these anxieties at the door every day. I strongly believe that we must invest in people in order to ease these anxieties, and that's exactly what the Liberal government will continue to do. Because of the Liberal government, Oshawa has seen over $6 million in infrastructure investment, 32,000 people received the middle class tax cut, 49,000 seniors received up to 50% more in retirement thanks to the CPP enhancement, and 12,800 families, including 23,210 children, are $6,600 better off because of the Canada Child Benefit. With a Liberal government, no one gets left behind, and that is what I will always fight for as your Liberal MP. In October, you can choose a government that will cut your supports for those who need it, fail to find climate solution, and hinder technological growth. Or you can choose forward and choose a government who will be there for you as a family struggling to get out of poverty, as a woman entering the workforce, as a company who wants to invest in green technology. My name is Afroza Hussain, and as your Liberal MP, I will work with our schools, families, and businesses to prepare Oshawa for the next technological, climate, and economic shift. No one will get left behind.
Good afternoon to all our fellow constituents and candidates. My name is Eric McKenzie, and I am running for the Oshawa PPC candidate. I am 35 years old, and I've been living in Oshawa for 19 years. This past week, I started school at Durham College, taking the Law Clerk Advanced program. Thank you to all of you, and a big warm thank you to Maxime Bernier. If it wasn't for Max and the strong Canadians standing together for the people, this would not be possible. So again, thank you, Max. I have been going blind my whole life. It has been a long, tough road getting to this point, but I have not once wavered against my strengths, determination, or convictions, holding true to Canadian cultures, traditions, values, and morals. I have been beaten down every which way in life because of my disability, but I call it ability. I am able to do anything I put my mind to. So this is a reminder for every one of those 6.9 million Canadians living with a disability that we are just as important as the next person, and to believe wholeheartedly in ourselves that we can do anything we put our minds to. I am not a career politician, nor am I a rich businessman. I am the people. I have been, if I'm elected, I will do anything in my power to help all of you when I can. Thank you for listening. Vote PPC. I love you all. Take care, and thank you.
My name is Shailene Pinello, and I'm excited to be the federal NDP candidate for Oshawa. As someone who grew up here, was raised by the people of this city, and has overcome barriers and challenges because of who I am and what I look like, I'm committed to ensuring that we reflect on our yesterdays and use today to make decisions that ensure Oshawa has a better tomorrow. As a director of 2 not-for-profits, a volunteer, advocate, and mentor, I know firsthand the power and potential we have to make a difference in people's lives and the necessity for us to look after everyone, including our most vulnerable, so that we can all succeed. As an adopted child in a family of 8, I know how crucial it is for us to all work together and have a good support system. That's why I sat on the Community Advisory Council for the Durham Children's Aid Society to ensure our marginalized children and families have a voice. As a longtime Fiesta Week performer and Miss Fiesta 2014, I also had the opportunity to learn so much more about the rich diversity that Oshawa is home to. We are truly a hardworking city to be proud of. But right now, people in our community are working harder than ever and not getting ahead. Oshawa's past year has been a true test of our resilience. Now is the time for us to be intentional, interested in the well-being of others, and investing in our tomorrow. I'm running because we all deserve better health care, a safe, affordable place to call home, barrier-free education, a good job, and a greener, cleaner world. I want to serve Oshawa and its people here and in Ottawa in a way that makes us proud and supports us as we continue to grow. I'm here because I care. I'm here because we're all worth fighting for and deserve better. And I'm here to boost the voices of those often left behind or forgotten in our community. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Jeff Tomlinson, and I'm the Oshawa candidate for the Communist Party. Working people everywhere are under attack. For decades, we've been ruled by governments who answer only to the wealthy and powerful, whose interests are usually antagonistic towards the working class, like GM in Oshawa, for example. This has led to a situation where our environment's being destroyed through reckless exploitation of our natural resources, decent housing has become a luxury, public services are being eliminated, and good-paying unionized jobs have been replaced with low-wage, precarious jobs. This is capitalism working just right. I'm running for the Communist Party because it's clear that the only real alternative is to start building a socialist society where the wealth we create is held in common hands for the benefit of all. Some of the most immediate measures we propose to enact are nationalizing GM Oshawa and the big 3 automakers, repealing all free trade agreements, implementing a full employment policy and a $20 minimum wage, doubling corporate taxes, building 1 million units of social housing and enact strict rent controls, expanding universal social programs to include daycare, post-secondary education, and a fully comprehensive healthcare system, opening overdose prevention sites and safe supply programs to save lives, cutting the military budget and leaving NATO, welcoming immigrants and refugees, treating hate groups as criminal organizations and prosecuting incitement, and enacting proportional representation. This election, don't waste your vote on the big business parties. Vote for a candidate that will defend your interests. If you want a society that puts people and nature before profit, vote communist. If you want more information, check out our website at votecommunist.com. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Giancroce and I'm your Liberal candidate for Durham. I'm running in this election because I believe we need to do more to help young families, seniors, and small businesses. Recently, we announced that we're going to make life more affordable for young families through our first-time homebuyers program, which will provide families up to 10% off the purchase price of their first home. Our plan includes creating more before and after school programs for children and making these more affordable by giving families up to $1,000. This also includes making maternity and paternal benefits tax-free. We're ensuring that families pay no federal tax on the first $15,000 of their income, which will put $585 back in the pockets of young families. Canadians are living longer than ever before. But as we age, we face higher healthcare costs. That's why we will put $729 more in the pockets of seniors each year by increasing old age security by 10% once you turn 75. Right now, 7 of 10 Canadians work for small and medium-sized businesses. That makes them the largest employers in Canada and a major part of Durham's economy. We're providing 2,000 entrepreneurs with as much as $50,000 to launch new businesses and giving $250 to new businesses to expand their business online. Part of our plan helps businesses in Durham eliminate the swipe fee on HST and GST for credit card transactions. As your Liberal candidate, I want to help build up our community and create an economy that works for you. I'm young and I'm determined to do my best work as our new MP. Our office is located at 140 Queen Street in Bowmanville. Our phone number is 1-833-889-0655. I look forward to your support on October 21st, 2019.
Hello, I'm Aaron O'Toole, your Conservative candidate for the riding of Durham. I grew up in Durham, and it's been an honor for me to be the MP for the last 6 years. I'm a husband, a father, a Canadian Armed Forces veteran, a lawyer, and a volunteer, all before I sought to be our representative in Ottawa. I've been a strong and informed voice for our community, for families, for seniors, and for small business. I've also been a national voice on mental health issues and support for our military families and our first responders. I've been Durham's representative at the cabinet table. I've helped secure investments for our university, for high-speed rural connectivity, for our nuclear sector, and I fought for pensioners and their financial well-being. I'm a strong voice, and that's why I want to remain your voice in Ottawa. I've also heard from constituents in the last few years that life is getting very unaffordable in Durham and across the GTA. Taxes are going up, service fees, and the Liberal carbon tax is raising the cost of everything. That's why Andrew Scheer and the Conservatives are letting you get ahead. Our universal tax credit will save the average family $850 per year by lowering marginal tax rates. Seniors will see an added benefit by a raise to the age credit, and families with children will see a return of the popular child fitness and arts and learning tax credits. Go commuters will save up to $650 per year for the Oshawa Union route with our green public transit tax credit. We're letting you get ahead. After 4 years of Justin Trudeau and runaway deficits, high taxes, it's becoming unaffordable in our area, and we need to give you a break. That's why I'm seeking your support. I want to remain Durham's strong voice in Ottawa. Please show your support by voting Aaron O'Toole on October 21st. Thank you.
I am Brenda Virtue, and I am the People's Party candidate for Durham riding in the federal election. Born in Bowmanville, I started my nursing career at Whitby Psychiatric Hospital, and I graduated from Kingston Psychiatric Hospital as an RN. I served our community at Lakeridge Health in intensive care as well as the emergency rooms of Oshawa and Bowmanville hospitals. As a nurse, my compassion and my faith caused me to value life from conception to death. And as I care for my patients, I assess the situation, I listen to problems, and I help people find solutions. So nursing has prepared me perfectly for politics. I also served as a Durham EDA board member for the Ontario PCs. However, I'm very disappointed in the federal Conservatives, who are more like Liberal light. So I heartily support Maxime Bernier's vision for less government, lower taxes, ending corporate handouts, and protecting our borders. And this will provide the resources that we need to help veterans, First Nations, and Canadians first. Since Trudeau bribed the media with $600 million, you may not have even heard of Maxime Bernier and the People's Party. They're even trying to keep Max out of the federal debate, but we are the fastest growing party in Canadian history with over 312 candidates already. When people see our platform, they say, this is the first time I've ever been excited about politics. You know, Trudeau is preoccupied with implementing a global vision at the expense of Canadians, and that has got to stop. We're against political correctness. So instead, let's have a conversation. So when you see that ballot and you say, I want to send virtue to Ottawa because Ottawa needs more virtue, and I'm sending Brenda. Thank you so much.
My name is Sarah Whalen Wright. I'm the federal NDP candidate for Durham. As a lifelong resident of the riding, I have a good sense of what Durham needs from their next member of parliament. I've chosen to continue to make Durham riding, and Bowmanville more specifically, my home for many years to come. I teach at a French immersion school in town, and I will send my children there in the future. In Ontario, we're very lucky to have a world-class public education system. Many educators and union members worked hard to get us where we are today. We must never let any government attempt to dismantle that work. Education is an investment in our future, not an area for finding efficiencies and making cuts. As a soon-to-be mother, the importance of public services such as childcare and pharmacare are top of mind for me and for my family. This is why I'm proud to stand with the NDP as a candidate. We're the only party with a clear plan to address these issues beginning right away in the year 2020. No one should ever have to choose between paying for groceries or paying for their medical costs. The NDP plan would cover healthcare from head to toe, including mental health services and dental coverage. In the Durham riding, job stability is at the forefront of our local issues. Durham needs stable job opportunities with a focus on sustainability and green technologies. The NDP has a plan to promote the Green New Deal, along with supporting companies who invest in Canada and Canadian workers. Job loss and instability in Durham is paired with the issue of affordability when it comes to housing and services that everyday constituents need. Our plan is to partner with developers and not-for-profit organizations to build affordable housing to rent and to buy throughout Canada. By having the richest Canadians pay their fair share of taxes, the whole country will benefit. On October 21st, vote Sarah Whalen Wright, NDP.
Hello, my name is Mallory McDonald, and I'm with the New Democratic Party, and I'm running to be your next Member of Parliament for Northumberland Peterborough South. I'm here today to tell you a bit about myself and why I think I should be elected. First and foremost, this election is not about me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how amazing I am or how much better of a job I'll do than my opponents, however true that might be. I'm here to tell you I'm not special. I am not a politician who's run many times at different levels of government as some of my opponents. And I don't have the luxury of having a base of supporters, as does my incumbent. And I don't have a super wealthy party backing me. I'm a regular person. I'm a non-registered, non-practicing nurse living with a disability. I rely on ODSP and the kindness of others to survive. I'm a volunteer. I'm a community member, and above all, human. I will not promise you the world just to get your vote, but I will tell you the truth, and I will keep my promises. Because I'm tired of being lied to by the people who we elect to help us. We deserve to have regular people representing us in Parliament. The NDP are the only party that have you, the average Canadian, at the center of all its policies, rather than profit or political gain. We are a party of grassroots, diverse, everyday people that still hold to Tommy and Jack's vision for us and who are fed up with business as usual. Join me. I'm in it for you because I am you. On October 21st, I hope you'll please vote for me and the NDP in Northumberland Peterborough South. Thank you so much.
I'm Kim Rudd, your Liberal candidate in Northumberland Peterborough South. Since being elected your Member of Parliament 4 years ago, our government began progressive steps forward in Canadian history. This includes the Canada Child Benefit, which is lifting 300,000 children out of poverty, a national housing strategy, making homes more affordable for those who are most vulnerable, and our plans for Canada's first ever national pharmacare strategy, which will make medications more affordable for Canadians. I'm proud of my over 3 decades-long legacy as a community advocate, from childcare to physician recruitment to small businesses to post-secondary education. As a lifelong entrepreneur, I bring a straightforward approach to both advocacy and to problem solving. Growing up, I learned the importance of hard work and compassion for others. I'm proud to have brought millions of dollars into Northumberland Peterborough South to create new jobs, support a variety of local organizations, and create new infrastructure opportunities. But the best part of being your MP over the last 4 years has been meeting so many of my constituents at their doors, in coffee shops, in restaurants, and in the streets, hearing what matters most to you. I've heard that affordability is a top priority for our seniors, for housing, for job opportunities for our young people. These are the priorities that we need to put first in a progressive plan that includes Canadians from all walks of life and all backgrounds. I learned a long time ago that we work better when we work for everyone's good. I thank you for the opportunity of your vote on October 21st.
It's hard to watch the news right now. The Amazon rainforest is burning, Icelandic glaciers are melting, and right here on Lake Ontario, we're still cleaning up from spring floods. The effects of climate change around the world and at home are overwhelming, but it's hard to even think about it when it takes all of your energy just to pay bills. Our economy as a whole is doing very well, but as individuals, we're still struggling. Employment is high, but wages are not. The economy is changing, and government isn't keeping up. Automation should make our lives easier, but it's mostly making the richest people richer. And our leaders are ignoring the elephant in the room, that climate change is an economic issue. It affects health, security, immigration, everything, and it's a crisis. It affects every aspect of our lives already, from property value to how many snow days your kids have, and whether or not you should make long-term financial investments for their future. I look at my own kids, and I know that I'll do everything in my power to make sure that they have a future. That's why I'm running for Parliament with the Green Party of Canada. My name is Jeff Wheeldon, and I want to be the Green MP for Northumberland, Peterborough South. This election is about leadership and vision. We need leaders who have the right priorities, the ambition to achieve them, and the integrity to follow through. We need the vision to push ahead to a clean energy economy that creates more jobs and less waste, more food and less pollution, more justice and less inequality. A vision for the future we hope for, not just one we can live with. The Green Party has that vision, and Canada has the technology, the knowledge, and the means to make it happen. We can make a better future, even as we fight against the end of the world, but we'll need to work together. Catch our vision at greenparty.ca and find out how you can join the movement. Not left, not right, but forward together. And on October 21st, vote for Jeff Wheeldon.
Center Ice, you get a premium ticket to the games you want every night of the season. With up to 37 out-of-market games a week to choose from, you'll get more goals, more saves, more non-stop action from the teams you love. NHL Center Ice, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack. All this for only $35.95 a month. Order through your remote on Channel 431 or call 1-888-ROGERS-1 today.
Hey, we're supposed to be at City Hall.
We're gonna build it right here.
Ah, yeah, sure. And give wetsuits to all the visitors?
No, on the water.
Hey, come on. We're talking about building something the size of 64 city blocks.
And there's no land left in Montreal.
So, get serious.
Listen, we'll build islands.
How? You dig up Montreal?
They're digging a subway, remember? You take it from there, and you put it here.
12 months and 25 million tons of fill later, St. Helens Island was reshaped and Ile Notre Dame was created.
Come on, we don't want to keep Mayor Drapa waiting, do we?
Montreal's Expo 67. It would prove to be the most successful World's Fair of the 20th century.
To the rafters in the Edmonton Arena. Everyone is feeling the pressure on the Grabs as they await the American champs. Here's the Cleveland favorite Knits now, and boy, do they look impressive.
Look at their uniforms. I bet you could sure run in smart shirts like those.
Not that. Look, world champs, my eye.
Grads, we don't play for glory. We play the game for the game's sake. So tonight, you're going to earn that title by playing your game. Teamwork, passing. Let's show them what it means to play the Grads.
were champions for 25 years. The record of 502 wins and only 20 losses is unmatched in all of sport.
When you're away from the gym, here's what CrossFit Oshawa does to keep fit. I want to show you a pull-up today because it's a functional movement that utilizes your entire body. If that's too challenging, scale it back to a jumping pull-up. Box jumps are great because they help you develop power in your lower body, and if you do enough reps, they elicit a great cardio response as well. We jump, land, and stand. To make that easier on your ankle, we can jump, land, stand, and step down. Burpees are everyone's favorite. They have a love-hate relationship because they're so great at developing that cardio response. In a burpee, chest goes to the floor, jump and clap overhead. Another one that I love to do is just getting out and running with the dog. I'll see you outside.
My mother said we had to leave home. The communists were going to take my father away. If my parents were afraid, they didn't show us. But we would never forget our escape from Vietnam. We were lost.
What was your job in Vietnam?
University professor. We had no home.
Do you have any family in Canada?
No, sir. Nobody wanted us.
Welcome to Canada.
Canada chose us.
Canadians opened their borders, their homes, and their hearts to more than 100,000 refugees fleeing persecution after the Vietnam War.
We were home.
What do I like? I like open fires, moonlit nights, chatty letters, rainy days. I like daydreaming. I love this colorful little island of ruby, emerald, and sapphire. Yet often my dark moods come. I'm possessed body and soul by this depression. They say women shouldn't write. Some days I almost give up. But I cannot contain my imagination. I made Anne real. I gave her my love of nature, my love of books, and my childhood dreams. My greatest happiness would be to climb the alpine path and write upon it a woman's humble name.
Lucy Maud Montgomery battled depression, rejection, and sexism to become known around the world for Anne of Green Gables and 19 other novels.
This time of year, the water gets cold, the air is getting colder. You want to make sure you're prepared. Watch the weather, dress for the weather. In the event that you're out and you get stranded, you want to make sure your cell phone's fully charged. We also recommend that you wear your PFD this time of year, just because hypothermia comes quicker than in the summertime. In the event that you fall in, you're going to start to gasp. You have 1 minute to catch your breath. You have 10 minutes of dexterity in your hands and your legs. This will allow you to climb back onto your boat or swim to safety. And then after an hour, you have the possibility of having a heart attack. So it's very important that you wear your PFD or life jacket. Now the difference between a PFD and a life jacket is a life jacket will self-right you and keep your head above water, where a PFD will keep you afloat but will not keep your head above the water. If you're looking for more information about what I've talked about, you can visit Transport Canada website at tc.gc.ca.
I never thought I'd know that feeling. To be in love. Because for us, it was a crime. Someone had to respond to the tabloids. So I wrote letters, challenging every misconception about homosexuality. 9 homes, 7 dogs, 47 years together, and still not spouses under the law. So we took our fight to the Supreme Court.
Jim Egan and Jack Nesbitt await a verdict on their fight for spousal rights.
Hello. We lost our case. but we made a difference.
As a result of Jim Egan's case, the Supreme Court ruled